Operational risk management. Say it with me. Operational risk management. Okay. I know it's not the most exciting topic, but it's necessary. It's necessary. And I'm here to discuss the various risk management topics, and that's what we're here in this channel for. When I look online, I just don't see much practical information on risk management. And when we're specifically talking about operational risk management, we're talking about those internal processes. We're talking about the people. We're talking about the systems. We're talking about even the external events in our businesses that affect our day-to-day operations, right? So this is something that we want to make sure we're paying attention to in order to create a financially successful business, a business that is resilient. And when I think of operational risk management, for my sports fans out there, right? It's like coming up to the line in football and you have a play you think is going to get you a touchdown, right? It's the perfect play. It's greatly drawn up. You see the defense and it's just a perfect design. You think it's going to work. But once you say hut, maybe your lineman doesn't block as well and now you lose 5 yards. Maybe you do a jet sweep and your wide receiver doesn't block the DB as well, resulting in a loss of yardage. This is what I parallel to operational risk management. Is all about controlling those internal, the employees, again, the processes, the systems, and then sometimes there's external events that can affect your day-to-day operations. What I'm sure a lot of you have heard, I know I've heard it, is control what you can control. And that's what I look at as operational risk management as. There's a lot of things that come with risk management when we're thinking of acts of nature, when we're talking about compliance. So these are things that the government is doing. These are some things that are out of our control, but a lot of things that come with operational risk management, also called ORM, we can control. We can make sure we're doing what we can to avoid certain mistakes and make sure our operations are running smoothly. So when things do happen, if we're talking about fraud and things we'll get into later in the video, our organization is well prepared. So in this video, we will be defining what operational risk management is. We'll be talking about how to improve your current business's operational risk management, and then also briefly discussing common mistakes to avoid when we're discussing operational risk management. So stay tuned. So I've been a risk management professional for going on 10 years, and operational risk management to me is the process of identifying, assessing, prioritizing, and mitigating risks that affect day-to-day operations and business workflows. With that being said, some examples of operational risk would be things such as the workplace safety risk, right? It would be things such as the cybersecurity breaches that could happen, the human error, employee conduct, employee error that happens when they're doing their day-to-day business, their day-to-day role. It could also be external physical events such as natural catastrophes. It could be the change in different business processes and workflows that we have in place. So the point of operational risk management is just proactively seeking ways to protect the organization by either limiting or eliminating these risks ahead of time before they happen, which is necessary. A lot of us are running small businesses. We're running mid-sized businesses. So while a bigger company like a Google, a Tesla, they may be able to take on more of this risk. And if it happens, they may still be able to operate. But if one or two of these things happen to a medium or smaller size business, it could potentially either lose you way more money or inevitably put you out of business. So these are things we want to start paying attention to early, so we're able to either eliminate it or mitigate it before it causes too much damage to our business. There are 5 simple steps in the ORM process, right? So the ORM process is all about risk identification, risk assessment, risk mitigation, then control operations, and definitely monitoring. Operational risk management in general is just not a one-time thing. It's a continuous monitoring. So even if you do have these strategies in place, you have to check it every 6 months to make sure things are still in place. There's not any new risks popping up. There's not any new dangers popping up that could affect your internal or external operations. And I do offer one-on-one consultations. Look below in the description for more details where I can help you start identifying risks that could be in your business, help you with the risk assessment and mitigation strategies so you can protect your business from facing any potential financial losses or completely losing your business depending on how bad the risk is that you're facing. Now that we know what operational risk management is, let's talk about the ways to improve your risk management framework. Let's talk about the ways to improve that ORM process that you currently may or may not have in place. And I've written five key steps here. So first, you want to be able to identify and assess your risk, right? You want to first locate where these risks are, in your business. This is going to help you if you use things such as the SWOT analysis, if you use things such as heat maps. These can help you conduct risk assessments or risk audits so you can identify the weaknesses in your operations. This will give you a good idea of where to start looking at, where the weaknesses are, and give you early indications of when you can start, what you can start doing to eliminate these things. I also do offer a one-on-one consultation where I can help you start identifying these things. Step 2, you want to be able to strengthen your internal controls. A lot of businesses right now, they have either weak or outdated controls. Make sure you have clear policies, clear procedures in place that can prevent things such as errors, things such as frauds. A lot of us don't even have things such as simple as a two-factor authentication when we're logging in. Simple things such as that can save you thousands of dollars because it can stop different breaches, different fraud hacks that can happen in any one of our businesses, especially in the smaller businesses. As the bigger businesses, they can take greater hits once again, but our smaller, our medium-sized business, it only takes one or two mess ups, one or two errors, and it can potentially shut down our whole business. So we want to make sure we're paying attention even to the smallest details and risk so that we're protecting our company overall, our behinds at the end of the day. And automating a lot of these processes, implementing AI, not being scared to implement AI in these processes can prevent us from a lot of human mistakes that can happen. Even us as operating, like even if you're the head of your business, putting AI in place, when we're wearing a lot of different hats, if we're able to put in an AI system, it can save us from making another mistake and also improve our efficiency, right? And then step 3, we want to make sure we're identifying risk monitoring strategies that we can put into place. We want to make sure we're identifying reporting systems, right? Just because we've identified the risk is not just enough to identify the risk, right? You need a continuous monitoring system. You have to implement different key performance indicators that let you know, or different risk dashboards that give you early warning indicators of potential risk. You want to be able to track and report risk on a timely basis so when they do happen, or if they're about to happen, you're able to stop it before it gets to a point where some risk, once they get to a certain point, there's nothing you can do about it. So the earlier that you're able to address it, the earlier that you're able to identify it, puts your business in a great position. And overall, you want to, for the companies that do have employees, you want to build a risk-aware culture, right? A lot of employees, they just don't understand the potential risk, which often leads to a lot of their mistakes. You want to make sure you're doing regular training, regular workshops, regular simulations that can create a team that's more risk aware of what's going on in the company, more proactive, because they are the ones that are working on your business day to day. So you want to make sure they're able to identify things early so that when they do happen, they can potentially, once again, save your company because they identified these things early before it lost you tens of thousands of dollars, especially for our earlier businesses. And step 5, we want to improve our crisis management. We want to improve our response plans, right? So we want to make sure, if possible, we're running simulations. We're thinking of if something does happen, because once again, disaster risks aren't about when, risks aren't about if. It's more so about when, and when these things happen, certain events, we want to make sure that our businesses are in place to take on these risks. Things like the LA fires, natural events like hurricanes, COVID-19. We can't, there's no way you can predict certain things like that, but you want to make sure your business has the tools, the operation in place, the audibles in place. Once again, relating it to sports, that when they see different defenses, even with the same play, we know how to react when these things happen. So we want to make sure we're stress testing regularly to make sure that not only our business, but our team is ready for the worst case scenario. So once again, like I have here, we want to identify and assess risk. That is step one. We want to identify and assess risk. Step two, we want to strengthen our internal controls. Step three, we want to implement risk monitoring and reporting systems. Step four, we want to enhance our employee risk awareness. And step five, we want to improve crisis management and response plans. With those 5 steps, you can immediately improve your operational risk management framework and save your business thousands of dollars while improving efficiency, building business resilience, and ultimately creating financial success. And before I wrap up this video, I want to make sure I mention a couple of common mistakes to avoid. Once again, you do not want to ignore the risk assessments. A lot of businesses, they like to wait till the risk event occurs to react. No, you want to stay proactive. You have to do these risk assessments so you're staying ahead of the curve to either eliminate these risks or be able to mitigate these risks before they occur. You also want to pay attention to the employees you're hiring and their training. Once again, you want to make sure you're building a risk-aware culture so that the people who are working day to day on your businesses, once again, they're able to identify these risks early on before they grow into something that's insurmountable, something that can put your business out of operation, right? And lastly, you want to make sure you have a response plan in place. Once again, it's not a matter of if. A lot of natural disasters is a matter of when. So you want to make sure you have response plans in place. So when something does happen, you have backup plans, you have backup processes, you have backup workflows in place so that even when a risk event occurs, unlike the competition, you're able to withstand that. And sometimes the companies who do have the best risk management strategies in place in those times that the risk event occurs, they actually do better. So we want to make sure we're avoiding these common mistakes. And even just by avoiding these common mistakes, we're putting ourselves ahead of the competition. So let's recap. Let's put it all in the pot, right? So strong operational risk management, it protects our business, it improves efficiency, and it reduces costly mistakes, right? And that's what we want. At the end of the day, we want long-term success. And that is what improving our operational risk management does. Once again, this is not something that you can do one time and you'll be good. It's a constant 3-month check-in, 6-month check-in to make sure our processes are up to date to react, to attack, to mitigate the oncoming risks that are forthcoming, right? So once again, I am offering a one-on-one consultation. More details in the description. As always, prevention is better than cure. If you have any topics in the risk management space that you want me to discuss, that you want me to explain, even if you're in high school, just about the risk management track, feel free to drop a comment and I'll definitely be more than happy to expound on any topics you guys have. Once again, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.